$4,988, so we've got $200 increase.
And some of that is gonna have to do with your fire calls though, isn't it?
Correct.
Of course, it helped you, so.
Yeah, or we could be in worse shape than that yet. But anyway, we'll have to see how that comes out. If we can, everybody can meet their obligation, the shares that worked out. What's on this first page again, Adam?
Yes.
This is a different format than where been presented in the past, so
Well,
that's why I've got
this
kinda
format
get-
is actually designed so that I can plug in the numbers and it automatically calculates what you owe. That's what this is set up to do. And to give you the exact weight that you can see how much of the weight applies to
Yeah.
each person. What's your question? I'm sorry.
Just to the right of the kind of total down there is the percent budget, percent long-terms, or LTCIP, is that?
That is more for my calculation information. It's basically, the budget is, all that is taking a percent of the 61,000. That's identifying that 33,750 divided by 61,595.
Yeah, it was 54% of the
It's
total.
54.79294%.
I kind of had that gathered, but what's the 258807 figure down underneath there?
258807. I would have to go and look at all my numbers.
That's the figure that I mean, the others I kind of...
I have a tendency that when I'm adding numbers together and things like that, I'll type them into a column and then
I just wondered where that was coming from.
I was probably adding something together. It's probably something that should have just been removed.
It's a debt service for Jackson.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, it is.
Because now I know what I was doing. I was actually, you'll see what I deleted the rest of them, but I was actually determining what the debt service was for each city, and I scrolled it down there. And I just must have missed deleting Jackson.
Good.
Actually, I just enjoyed looking at Jackson's number and getting a good kick out of it, so I thought I'd move it up there.
So that number is just off of there. Okay.
That's nothing.
How hard would it be to have totals on those columns up above? Like total assessed value, total adjusted value. I mean, of course, the weighted, theoretically should add up to 100. You know, population.
Well, each one would add up to 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, or 100%. I wouldn't mind seeing some totals on those columns. I mean, when I look at it, rather than just the individual, I look at the total, you know, and then you can see what kind of a change there is quickly from year to year or whatever. We basically have it totaled over here on the right. I mean,
That's taking the 3 weights
right.
and
You can figure it out.
Yeah, it's just, I mean, he's had to get a total in order to come up with those percentages anyway.
This is just something plug in a computer and spits it out.
this is a program.
Hannah had the same thing, but only he didn't have, only thing he changed here is your prior year.
Yeah, all I had to go in and do on this sheet after I set up the equations is I just put in the assessed value number, I put in the population number, and I put in the average fire call. Everything else automatically, and then I have to put the budget and the debt service and the equipment dollars in, down here in the corner, so it knows how much is the overall. And then it just automatically spits out what everybody does.
Is this a program, I mean, you set this up or you?
I set this up, yes. I had to have a method of determining what your portion was,
Right.
which is what the
See, and
total
that's-
weighted.
That's where we
Yes.
got screwed up the last 2 times around because the figures weren't accurate in there. They were either calculated by hand and screwed up or something, and that's, so I wondered where
I don't
you...
think they got changed. I mean,
That's what
there's
happened
some
last year.
changes happened and they never got changed. That's how I got screwed up.
The allotment figure
the allotment figure would be the $61,595.53 times 1.172.
Okay.
Which .172 would be 17.2%
this
of
allotment
$61,595.
Is the final line type thing.
Yes, allotment is your,
Right.
that is everything rolled together. That's
Right.
what your
That's your
overall
total
cost
payment,
is.
what you owe.
That's the bill, I'll send you a little smiley face.
Yeah, I'm doing it, it's set up just reverse of what we were used to. I've got, like I said, I'm just trying to get myself.
Well, what I realized
back
is
reading.
once I learned what your allotment was, how that came about is once I learned what your allotment was, I thought it was done, and then I realized, oh, well, I've got to break that out into budget, debt service, and long-term
Right.
capital, which is where your percentages came in, when you see that little box down there, because then I had to figure out how to break those apart, so that I could then break them apart over here on the far right column, so that I could show how much of each of you portion of your allotment was for those particular portions.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, I think I'm just not gonna have.
I love numbers, if you haven't realized that.
Yeah, you went at it, your program's going at it a different way than they've ever done it in the past, so that's why I've got to make sure that you understand
Well,
that.
yeah, one of the most.
You got the total and then backed
Backed everything else out.
out of that, and before, they've added all the individual things to get a total.
Ideally, if you add up budget, debt service, and long-term capital, they should equal what your allotment is.
Yeah, they sure better.
They do, I think.
Yeah.
They should, yeah.
6, 7.
You took the total first by that weighted percentage and then broke. the
Like I said,
others.
that actually kind of happened by accident. I realized that having the allotment number didn't mean anything to me until I knew how to break it out on the budget sheet.
Scribble that out and put allotment over here and it'll be right.
I still would like it if there were totals at the bottom of the vertical columns.
Oh, that's fine. I can.
Because then it's easy to look and say, okay, allotment, the total allotment, which should be the total budget, matches the 61. It's easy to
That's
see,
fine.
okay, what did this,
Yeah,
what
that's
did
not a big
assessed
deal.
value do
It
from
takes
this
me
year to
all
last
of
year?
about 10 seconds to add that
Right.
column there.
I would appreciate that if we had vertical column totals.
That will not
That's
be a problem.
something we're used to, and it makes it a lot quicker for me to see that the numbers are cross-matching and agreeing. Okay, that's that. We discussed the actual operating budget here and what you,
Did you have any changes to the operating budget?
I say, yeah. Well, you said the truck thing was,
Yeah, that's,
truck repair, you said we were.
well, I tell you what, we got one truck that's 29 years old this year. 39. Well, the 78.
Oh, okay.
We got one truck that's 29 years old this year, and one that's 39 years old this year. And that's that snorkel, and it has to be inspected every year. And they redlined it for us because we have to pull the lower cylinder out of it and send it in and get it fixed. And that's gonna take about $1,000. And it costs $500 to have it inspected every year. So I think we need to, in the near future, start thinking about replacing one of those trucks. That snorkel,
270.
I mean, it's a great piece of equipment, but it don't get used.
You don't get used much, does it? No.
So then what do you want to replace it with?
Another pumper. Maybe a squirt, something with an aerial you can raise up and
Shoot it out.
shoot water, but you don't have people,
You don't have
Yeah.
a body.
you don't have bodies up in there.
Yeah.
They
Which
all
is
run
what
they all
the
run
snorkels
with
do.
cameras and that kind of stuff.